Hey everybody, I'm Yuri from Capcom Unity, and I'm here with Red Stash.
Hello.
And we're here to talk about his favorite monster, which is...
The Lagiacrus. Well, it looks fantastic. I mean, if you just look at this thing, the first thing you think is, wow, this thing is... It's awesome. It's a king of the sea, basically. You look at it, there's nothing that would challenge this thing in the wild. It's enormous, it generates electricity on its back, it's got those powerful jaws, and it goes pretty fast underwater.
Yeah, and you mentioned electricity, and you can see that, especially on its back, with those spikes that sort of emit that lightning effect, just adding a little more to that feel of danger.
Yeah, and it does more than just add to the feel of danger. When that back is glowing, its electrical discharge attacks will start affecting a wider area with little sparks just happening all over. When it starts just kind of cruising around underwater, it'll eventually curl itself up and then ready a big old charge attack. Sometimes that charge attack will come with a big old whirlpool following it, and you really got to look out for that because it's got a much wider range than usual and it can cause water blight. It's got a large water current. And in addition to that, it can also spit out balls of thunder. It can slap you with its tail, which can also cause water blight if you get hit by the current. It'll wreath itself in electricity from time to time, and you gotta look out for that, because if you're in contact with any part of its body, you're gonna get hit.
Which then leads to the dangerous Thunder Blight. You get hit once, you get affected with Thunder Blight, you get hit again, and it has a higher chance of you being knocked out dizzy.
Yeah, you don't want to get caught dizzy when there's a monster with big attacks.
So one thing about the Laggy is that eventually it uses up all that thunder, all that energy, and it gets tired, like many of the other monsters. But it's very unique in the sense that it doesn't go out to eat to replenish its stamina, and it eventually goes on to land, changing the battle drastically.
Yeah, when it's on land, it's a completely different beast. For the regular Lagiacrus, this usually just means that it'll be tired and sitting on land where it's not as mobile, so you'll actually get plenty of chances to just beat on it for a while. But since it doesn't go to eat, that means that usually you won't get a sparkly from it going to eat. Instead, to get it to drop a sparkly, you'll have to hit it with a sonic bomb while it's underwater. But that enrages it, so you gotta look out.
One of the things about the sonic bomb, though, is that it stuns him for a little bit, so you can get some free hits. Maybe go for that tail that you can eventually cut off, and other breakable parts.
Well, you mentioned the tail, and cutting that off is actually a really good thing to do. Not only can you get rare items from it, but also when its tail is severed, the tail slap that we mentioned will no longer cause water blight. So in addition to cutting off the tail, you can also break his horns, which are another great source of rare items. You can break his claws, which you'll probably do by accident. You can break his chest, which is pretty easy and leaves him with a big old gash. And you can break his back, which you would think would stop him from generating his electricity, but he can still do it.
I notice if you break the claws while he's on land, he'll normally tip over, so that's another great chance for free hits.
Yeah, and it's a great chance to get the back, which normally you can't reach when he's on land.
That's right, that's right. So now talking about the subspecies, its habits are very different from the regular Laggy.
Yeah, the Ivory Laggy will spend pretty much all of its time on land, which means that it's going to have to get a lot of new moves to keep it a threat on land, whereas regular Laggy, you get to just beat him up. Ivory Laggy, he's something to be reckoned with when he's on land. He's got a lot of electric attacks, including a new carpet bomb attack that just sends electric explosions out all over. And his discharge attacks come out really fast when he's on land, so you gotta be careful if you're getting in close.
Yeah, like you said, definitely a threat on land. And then finally, the Abyssal Laggy.
Yeah, the Abyssal Laggy, he's the king of the depths. He lives in the ruins where you fight Cetus, and he is huge.
Well, its size is not the only problem. You also have to watch out for those whirlpools that eventually drain out your oxygen.
In addition to those being big, he's also got his discharge attack, which covers an enormous radius.
Yes, definitely a powerful enemy there. And there you go, guys. That's the Lagiacrus and its cousins for you. If you liked it, there's more Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, all sorts of unique monsters. Thanks a lot, Reztash, for the great insights.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and I'll see you guys next time.
Goodbye.